Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw it. Pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, gritty from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. And the truth is our MVP has decided to stay in OKC for 6 more years. That would be the truth. And so welcome everybody to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. The Thunder, everybody was wondering what the Thunder were going to do. Sorry, I'm trying to get all this stuff off the deal. Everybody was wondering what the Thunder were going to do with, because everybody else is making decisions. And so everybody was wondering what the Thunder were going to do as far as the acquisitions and trades or whatever. But you got to remember, everybody's under contract, number one, as we talked about yesterday. Number two, this offseason really consists of us doing 3 major things. Number one, signing SGA. Number 2, signing J-Dub. Number 3, signing Chet. 2 extensions. Those are your 3 major things that the Thunder had to put forward first, okay? Now, once that's done, now it's about, okay, where do we go from here? You added your draft pick that you wanted, so now you've got to figure out, okay, we need a shooter. We do. And I'm a big fan of Isaiah Joe, and I remember when we first got Isaiah Joe from Philadelphia, I was like, oh, man, great, we got Isaiah Joe, we got a shooter. I really liked Isaiah Joe, and he was everything that I thought he was going to be. The issue now is that when you look at what other teams have done, and you know that teams, ever since the middle of 2023, 24, Isaiah Joe was shooting 50% from 3. But since then, they've run him off his spot, and we've talked about that numerous times on this show and on After the Storm. We've talked about this and what Isaiah Joe now brings, okay? So what I'm saying to that is this, is that now you've got to come in and you got to get a shooter. And then you've got to get another big guy. But, you know, is K-Rich fine because when we go small, he can do it? Yes, at center. Is Wiggins going to be better? Yes, he's still good. But, you know, what the Thunder have done is now we've got everybody. Remember, everybody's under contract. Everybody's under contract. And remember, we had to trade Dylan Jones so we can make a roster spot because we're sitting there pretty. Now, the interesting part is this, and I've been trying to get the details on it all day. Once I saw that he only signed for 4 years, not 5. So he didn't even get near the $480 million or the $400 million signing deal that I thought he was going to go for. Remember, we were talking about that. And then yesterday on the show, we also said, after seeing what Jason Tatum did, what is he going to do? Because remember, Jason Tatum just signed his extension last summer. And then he gets hurt and tears his ACL, his Achilles this year in the playoffs, and he's going to skip all next year. So he got taken care of because he had already got hurt, but he had already signed previously his extension early. So that was part of the thing is, does SJ sign early because that could happen to him? I mean, Achilles, I've torn both of mine, so it could happen. Or injury could happen, or do you go ahead and just secure your future? But I thought the interesting part was he only signed for 4 years, not 5. So he signed through 2031 instead of 32, and I thought that was interesting that he only did 4 years. I thought that was really, really interesting, and I'm still trying to find out if that's if the 4th year is a team option or his option, player option. I'm still trying to figure that out. That's because the details of the contract, of course, has not come out because he doesn't sign until the 6th, I believe. It's July 6th is when he'll be able to sign that contract. So I'm still trying to figure that one out because that matters. Because what that basically says is after year 3, remember this is what happened with Kevin Durant. So the question is, after year 3, did the Thunder have to re-sign him again? Which I think that's why he went for a 4-year instead of 5, because now he can get more money by doing it a year early. You see what I'm saying? Because if he goes year 5, then he's locked in for 5 years. Now he's only locked in for 3 instead of 4. He's locked in for 3. Then he has to be the contract has to be renegotiated again, or instead of locked in for 4, where the contract has to be renegotiated. So that was a smart move on him, even though he doesn't have an agent. And we've talked about this, about having an agent, and the benefits and the problems with not having an agent. And I'm like, well, in SGA is different than J-Dub and Chet. Because J-Dub and Chet, you still have some things you need to renegotiate in your first contract and in your second contract. But in SGA's situation, he doesn't need that, because here's the thing. He's a supermax, and it's already determined. It's supermax. If you want this many years, it's this. If you want this many years, it's that. If you sign this year, it's this. If you sign next year, it's that. So SGA's is already set up to where he doesn't need an agent. And ask yourself this. Are you going to give somebody $11 million for doing nothing? You're not giving somebody $11 million for doing nothing. When they're now, granted, are you happy of what they did when they got your rookie contract and when all the things they did for you in your second contract and all that? Yeah, that's all great and fine and dandy. But this third one, it would be different had he not been All-NBA, had he not been already qualified for the Supermax. Plus, he's the MVP. So he's already set on what his contract is going to be, whether he signed this summer, whether he signed next summer, whether it's 4 years or 5 years, his contract is set. And you got to ask yourself, what would you do? I'm with him. Because especially in Oklahoma City, and plus being who he is, you think he can't find the best sports contract attorneys or entertainment contract attorneys in the country, in the United States? We've got several of them here in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa. We've got enough attorneys. You think you can't pay one of them $500, $700 an hour or whatever it is to overlook your contract? Because the rest of it is pretty set. The only difference for SGA is, do I sign for 4 years or do I sign for 5? That's the biggest question. And he took less money, which helps the Thunder, but still, let's look at his contract, okay, so we can help you out even further. SGA signs a 4-year, $285 million Supermax, securing him for the next 6 years, which will pay him, you're reading that correctly, $71.25 million annually. You read that correctly. $71,250,000 annually. That's what he'll make. Now, here's the addition to what I'm talking about right here. Hey guys, remember, go ahead and like the video if you like what we're doing, and subscribe and hit notifications. Here's the addition. The Thunder going to sign J-Dub and Chet this summer, because they've already got the biggest piece they had to sign was SGA. Okay, to agree on what he wants and what he's going to do. And he probably gave the Thunder a little bit of a break by being able to do this, because now it gives them a little bit more freedom, because I can tell you the second apron is going to hit us in a couple years. But by then, we'll be okay. Who cares if we win if we have another chip by then, if we have 2 chips in the next 2 years, who's going to be mad? Or 2 chips in the next 3 years, who's going to be mad? Okay, if they sign both of those, and remember, J-Dub and Chet, if we sign all 3 of them to maxes, it'll be $800 million just in salary to just those 3. Now, J-Dub, $246 million for 5 years, $296 if he makes All-NBA, which he did, wins MVP or Defensive Player of the Year, which he did not, but he did make the All-NBA team. So he's eligible for the $296. Now, remember, Chet got paid more money than him because Chet was a lottery pick. Chet will be eligible for $247 for 5 years, $296 if he makes All-NBA, wins the MVP or Defensive Player of the Year. So we know that J-Dub is already qualified for the $296. So between SGA and J-Dub alone, if J-Dub takes the $296 just between them 3, if Chet takes the $247, it will be $778 million worth of contracts between just those 3. Between just those 3. That's what it'll be. Hey, John, what's going on? It says, if I'm understanding this correctly, the SGA deal What he did is he took 1 year less. Is what he did, John. Because remember, if he'd have taken 5 years, which everybody else did, that would have made him 357 or 381, whatever $1 million a year. And if he waited to next year, it'd be 413. So he took 1 year less on his contract. Is what he did, and which is fine because what he does is now in 3 years, he'll be eligible to get another extension, which is because remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but LeBron is the first one to do this because your rookie contract used to be 5 years. Then LeBron switched it to 4 years. Okay, and then your second contract is now 5 years. So LeBron switched it from 5 to 4. And then what SGA did instead of taking all the money, because remember, his first contract we paid him was what, 178, I believe, over 5 years, and then now he's signing for 285. So just off of us, he's made, what is that, 385, 450, $60 million or something like that is what he's made in the last 5. Will have made it over us over a 7-year period, over a 9-year period is what we would have paid him. So that's what happened, John, is that he took 4 years instead of 5 because now in 3 years, after his third year, which will be 2029, 2030, he'll be eligible for an extension because the next year will be his contract year. So that's where SGA will be sitting, which is brilliant by him because now I get another bite at the apple in 3 years. Or the Thunder can trade him, whatever they choose to do with it. So that's basically where you're sitting with him and with J-Dub and with Chet. Now, we know we're going to sign him because you have no choice. So that's where we're sitting as of today. And, thank you, SGA, MVP, having one of the most historic seasons in the history of the league. He did what he needed to do to sign with the Thunder, which he likes, and he said that we had played that and talked about this, how he signed with the Thunder after he signed after the first year, talking about how happy he was and what the Thunder was going to do when he signed his first extension, and how he believed in the organization and what they were doing and seeing what the direction they were heading. He was really happy. So that in itself leads me to believe that, Nathan Taylor and I had talked about this, what he was going to do. Nathan and I talked about what he was going to do, and Nathan believed he was going to sign early. And I said that yesterday on the show that my thing with him, the only reason why I thought he would sign this summer instead of next summer is because he saw what happened to Jason Tatum and what happened to Damian Lillard and what happened to Kyrie. And remember, Dallas paid Kyrie, even though he's going to miss all next year, or majority of next year, they tore up his contract, gave him an extension anyways. So whether the Thunder would have did that next year, I don't know, but that's where he stands. And, anyway, congratulations to him. The first piece, the most important piece is done. Now it's up to J-Dub to decide what's going to happen with him and then Chet. And I believe both of those will sign pretty quickly since SJ is already committed and already signed. I believe both of those will sign pretty quickly simply because July 6th, which is what is that? Sunday? I think that's July 6th Sunday. I think it's Sunday. What is July 6th? Yeah, July 6th is Sunday. So I believe that SJ will sign his contract and J-Dub and Chet will sign before then because, there's no, what are you waiting for? You know what you're going to get. It's not like it's a rocket science or secret anything. I think with Chet, it's about, are we going to give him the extension? Is he going to be healthy enough for us to afford to give him an extension that long? And me as a GM, and I'm sure Sam Presti as a GM, what are you going to do? You're going to pay Chet. You're going to make Chet happy. Because this is the thing. We talked about this was the second year, coming the third year of a 5-year window. And remember, this will be the second year for iHeart in his 3-year deal. We have team option next year. We already extended Caruso. So your whole team is coming back. And you want to solidify your 3 pieces. And we had looked it up yesterday, and I'll pull it up again for you guys who missed it yesterday. When you look at our salaries, this is where we stand salary-wise. Okay? So remember, this is coming up as 2026, 2025, 26 seasons coming up, okay? So this will be year 3 of the upcoming year of our 5-year window. And then 26 26-27 will be year 4 of that. And 26-27 is when Chet is last year of his deal, J-Dub's last year, SJ. So all the new 27-28, all these contracts that we're talking about right now will all come to fruition, will all come back to bite the Thunder. So in 3 years, the Thunder are going to have to make a decision on what they want to do with let me see. Whatever, Randy. The commander has issues. He really does. But anyway, so you can see where the contracts all are up, and they're 20, like I said, next summer. So we have this year, and then 2025, 26, and then 26, 27. That year is when everything is the Thunder are going to have to make some huge decisions. And I believe next summer they're going to have to make some huge decisions on what they want to do. Because now we know SGA is locked up to 2031, iHeart through 2027, Dort to 2027. So what do you do with Dort when he's locked up to 2027? Like I said, that would be year 4 of our 5-year window. What do? You're going to have to go in that second apron and pay taxes. And so what do you do? What do you do if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder? What do you do as a player? What do we want as fans? Now, here's how I look at it. If you win this year or you win next year in 26, 27, let's say, for example, do you do what Boston did and was going to go ahead and pay? They paid the first apron tax and said, to hell with it, we're going to bring everybody back because we just won the chip. And then they lose Tatum and, injuries happened and whatever, Porzingis and blah, blah, blah. So they then said, we're not going in the second apron. We're not paying tax on that, so they start slashing everything, getting rid of this, getting rid of that, doing all this, getting rid of Holiday, getting rid of Porzingis. So they said, no, we're not doing that. Remember what Golden State did? Golden State had a chance to win. They paid, $400, $500, whatever $1 million it was in taxes to do what? They want another chip. Now, our owners have enough money that they don't give a shit about paying a $500 million tax. Who gives a shit? At that point, they divide that, what is that, $100 million each or whatever. And I don't mean to say that in a dismissive way. But these guys are worth billions of dollars. You think they're not going to say, okay, here's $100 million. Okay, fool, we'll give up the $100 million if we can bring another chip home when we know our window is closing, which could be your second, third, or fourth chip. Especially if it's your third or fourth chip, yeah, you're going to spend the money because you know the opportunity to do that is pretty much closed, kind of like what Golden State did. Those guys said, screw that, we're going to spend as much money as we can, and it paid off, and they made the money, and they won the chip for their, fourth or fifth one, whichever was. What did Steph Curry win one? That was his first because he won one. Then they won 2 with Durant, and then one. So that was his fourth one. So what do you do at that point? Do you go ahead and win your fourth chip? Yeah, you spend the money. You pay the tax. But if you don't have a chance, like Milwaukee said, like the Pacers said, by getting rid of Miles Turner, we're not paying the tax. We're not doing it. Because Tyrese Halliburton's going to be gone. We know the opportunity for us to win the chip is out. But here's what the Thunder are going to face. Not this summer. We're doing what we need to do this summer. Not next summer. It's that next summer. And next summer, you're going to have to really make some decisions. What do we want to do? Do we want to make that? And to me, it all depends. If we go back to back, hell yeah, you pay the tax. Now, it's easy for me to say. It's easy for you to say because we're not the ones that are spending the money. It's not our money. It's their money. So it's easy for us to say, yeah, spend the money, spend the tax. Because it's their money, not ours. But it's also who doesn't like winning rings. And somebody once, we were talking about the NIL money in college. And we were like, I would equate this to the same thing. You have boosters. If you think they're not going to give a guy $5 million or $10 million for them to win a national championship in football, you better believe they're going to spend $5 or $10 million to win a national championship. You're damn right they will. They don't give a shit. They want to win. They're billionaires because they're used to winning. They like to win. They like to have that big-ass ring that you can't wear because the damn thing is so big. But they like that. That's part of their ego because if money can't buy you, what can money buy you? It can buy you a ring, they're going to buy one. If it can buy you a championship, they're going to spend it. So, once again, though, it's their money, not ours. And I believe that Sam Presti will do what he needs to do through the draft and through whatever to continue to elevate our core group, which is SGA, Chet, J-Dub. And remember, I showed you what's happening. Remember Queso, we'd have to pay him next year. That'll be paying him a year early. But remember, he's a rookie. We got him on a cheaper deal. So I showed you what the contracts are. So the Thunder are sitting pretty good as far as situationally, as far as the future is concerned. But you got to get the big three taken care of. And you got to remember, SGA is going to take up, I think, what did it say? I saw something, 25% of the salary will be taken up by SGA. So when you add SGA, J-Dubs, and Chet, I want to say it's going to be like 60% or 50% of the Thunder, or 60%, whatever, some crazy number of the Thunder's contract will be between, the yearly contracts will be between those three. So that means what? You have to draft really well again. You got to continue to draft well. And what has he done? Josh, J-Dub, Chet, Kaysen. And then we'll see what our big boy does this summer, or does this year. But Josh, J-Dub, and Chet, and Queso. And then A.J. Mitchell, who I really, really like a lot. I like A.J. So what he's done drafting-wise has been fantastic. What we've done team-wise has been fantastic. You have your big three, and yeah, they're going to cost you down the road, but here's the deal. SJ also did the team a favor as well, because at the end of that third year, which was 2030, 2029, 2030, if he's declining a little bit, that gives the Thunder options to trade him to get more draft picks. And it's depending on the development of what J-Dub and Chet are doing. Or that gives you the opportunity to say, okay, well, we're going to keep him, we're going to keep J-Dub. And remember, let's face it, if you have to pick between which two of the three you want to keep, you're going to keep J-Dub and SGA, I would think. And I'm a huge Chet fan. And Chet brings something when he's healthy that no other guy can, because he's a shot blocker. He stretches the floor. He can shoot the three. He's athletic. He can run up and down the floor. So those are things that his ball handling, I'm not giving him that. It's okay. But those are things that he brings. So you now have a big three, which most teams can't do. And a super team is, that's what you want to call it. But it's homegrown. You got SGA after his first year. You drafted Chet, you drafted J-Dub. You drafted Kaysen. You brought Dort in. And then you got to ask yourself, do we extend Dort again? Like I said, 26, 27, which is really next summer. What do you do with Dort? What do you do with him this summer? Now, to me, I would go ahead and re-sign Dort, but the question is, only they know what Dort is as far as the standing, because Dort will be, SJ is 27 this month, sometime this month. I think Dort's 27 sometime this month as well. So what do you do at that point? Now, to me, like I said, here's my group. I've got SGA, J-Dub, Chet, and Topic, which hopefully we're gonna find out this coming weekend how Topic is by the time he plays his 3 games Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday in the Salt Lake City, kind of getting ready for the Summer League in Vegas. So we'll get to see what he's going to be like. But I believe, based on what we saw before, based on his potential. Hey, Nathan, what's going on? How long you been there, bro? I didn't see you.
Oh, just a second. Man.
Oh, well, what do you think about my take, brother?
I didn't hear all of it. I think I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. But
okay. Well, go ahead. Shocking.
Okay, so here's my thing. Well, 2 things on the salary deal. Have you already talked about this?
Yes.
Okay, let me bring something else up. The reason I think, and you saw my take last night, kind of a little worried last night, wasn't I?
You were.
I said, a good thing. Some along the lines. Last time OKC had to pay 2 really good players in the same off season, we signed one, and he was gone before the end of the contract, and we traded the other for basically nothing.
Right.
So
we didn't trade him; he left.
Well, you're right, but in essence, he got traded.
You talking about KD?
No, I'm talking about Harden.
We got Steven Adams for Harden.
I mean, but did Steven Adams help us really do anything? Not really.
I like Steven Adams, and so did you.
I love Steven Adams,
okay.
but he didn't help us do anything.
Right. Okay. So go ahead and make your point.
Okay, so I think they haven't signed J.W. and Chet yet.
Which they will.
Which they will, yes. They will. I don't think they've done it yet. I think you've seen SGA's come down because SGA's extension doesn't affect our salary at all next year. Not one bit.
None of theirs either.
It will, actually.
No, theirs doesn't come to 2027.
You're right, but if we extend them, it puts a cap hold on us.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So we couldn't sign anybody else. So what I'm thinking is maybe there's something, not big, something little minute, little thing that he wants to do that he's probably going to do first, and then he's going to sign the other two guys. Maybe not.
Well, he said that part of his thing was yesterday. He said that he wanted his biggest priorities was to sign the big three. That's what he said.
For sure. Yeah, which he will. They will. Were you surprised by the SGA thing?
Well, yeah. But like I said, okay, I have it up here on the screen, Nathan. SGA signs $285, 4 years, Supermax, securing him for the next 6 years at $71.25 million starting in 27-28.
Sure.
The Thunder signed J-Dub and Chet to the extensions. Okay, if they get the max deals, we'll be at $778 million.
Yeah, 249 apiece, right?
246 and 247 for Chet, but it'll be 296 for J-Dub because he made the All NBA.
No, he's got to make it. He's got to make it
2 years in a row. Yeah.
Got to make it 2 years.
Yeah.
So yes, could be worth up to that 296, but when he signs it, it's 240.
Yeah, 246 for J-Dub, 247 for Chet. If you give Chet the max, which
I mean,
I
feel like he. I don't know, man. Like here's the thing. Like he should, but did he earn it?
He's only played one full year. So how many games has he played, Nathan? 82?
115 maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think if it's me, just based off what he's done, not based off what he could do, I think he gets a Jabari Smith contract. That's what he's earned, in my opinion.
$25 million a year, basically.
It's a 5-year 122, right?
Yeah, 27, whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I think he's earned. What I think they'll give him and what his potential is a lot more than that. But
I think they give him his full extension max. That's what I think, or close to it. Or close to it. I think the whole thing is he gets more money than J-Dub because he was a lottery pick.
Yes.
Okay.
But,
only $1 million. It's not. Ooh. But he's made more.
Close,
right, but he's made more money than J-Dub.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
up to this point.
Probably by about $10 million or so.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But no, here's the thing, man. Like I was telling you earlier. I think. This is not every superstar, obviously. We have a unique one. Now, I know he got the 4-year max, but...
He did 4 years. Now, Nathan, I talked about that. I never thought about it this way. He took the 4 years because he gets to renegotiate in 3.
That's true.
He gets to renegotiate in 3.
So that's what I told...
Smart move.
I was telling that yesterday. I remember who I was telling that yesterday, but 2, does it line up with his 10 years of service? Because... after 10 years of service, don't you get an additional little bump?
Yeah.
I think.
So he'll be at...
renegotiation comes at his 7th year?
Yeah, because this will be... Right now, he's at the end of this contract, he'll be at what? 9? Well, he did 4.
No,
he did 4. He's done 4. This is 5th year with us, right?
Yeah, this is the end of his 6th year.
6th year, right. So he has...
He's got 2 more years on his current contract.
Which will be 8, and then 3 years will be 11. So at the end of that, so at the end of 2 years, 3 years, he'll be at 11.
It'll be the end of his 11th year.
Yes.
Yeah, so he'll be available for a lot. I mean, dude, he's going to make $100 million a year.
Yeah, something stupid, yeah. Which was great by him, dude. That I didn't even see that. I didn't even think about that. I thought the $400 million, but this right here, being negotiated after year 3 instead of year 4. And only being tied up for 4 years instead of 5, huge.
Yeah, it's basically a 3-in-1. It's basically a 3-in-1.
It's basically what it is. It's basically what it is.
Contract that we gave out.
Yeah.
It's basically that one.
And like I said, at that point, Nathan, the Thunder can say, well, if he's diminishing a little bit, they can go ahead and trade him for more assets if they want to.
Absolutely.
send him somewhere he'd want to go, whether he'd want to go to Toronto to finish out his career in Canada or whatever. I mean, wherever.
Yeah, no,
I don't see them getting rid of him because that's crazy, especially if you have 2 to 3 rings.
He's given, I mean, to this point in time, he could do nothing else, and he's given way more to the city than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know
Now,
what I mean?
I agree with you though, Nathan. Remember I was telling somebody the other day, we had talked about this, that, the greatest player in Thunder history is Kevin Durant, without question.
Player, yes.
But you said the greatest Thunder player.
The most important, the best raw talent player that the franchise has ever had is Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
no
yes.
question.
Yeah, without
No
question. Yeah.
The best player
Thunder
for
player.
the franchise
Thunder player.
has been SGA.
Yeah,
for
the best Thunder
franchise.
player. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's once again you're about that. So
Well, hey, I'm a lot. So it's okay.
no, you 3 times, bro. 3 times. Don't get twisted.
I know this is number 3. That's number 3.
That's number 3. Yes.
I'm keeping count now. So
Right, but you know what the whole thing with this is, yesterday on the show I had said that SJ with Jason Tatum going down, that man make him sign a year early because.
Here's the thing. I said it before Jason Tatum was hurt.
No. I understand. I'm saying is that I started to kind of agree with you a little bit when Jason Tatum went down, because Jason Tatum signed last year, a year early, and he's going to miss all of next year, and still get his money because he'll be getting his contract. I believe next year he'll be starting to get his 60 something crazy number, and he ain't even play.
Yeah, right.
He wouldn't even be playing.
As awesome and as on cloud 9 as we are, think about being a Pacers fan today, man.
Oh
my God, that'd be horrible.
That hurt, bro. Let's go
Your
into NBA news.
10 days in a row. Your superstar, with the span of 10 days, your superstar gets hurt and won't be in for a whole other year. You lose in Game 7 of the championship.
Yes.
Now you lose your
Miles
most
Turner.
tenured player. My God.
Your most tenured, but Nathan, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
No. I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
No.
And I was talking to somebody about that.
I feel for the franchise, man.
Right.
I feel for a fan.
Right. I was telling somebody about that the other day. I said, man, okay, listen to it. You lost Halliburton, and he's going to be gone all year. You're going to go into the apron? You're going to pay tax for Miles Turner? I'm not paying tax for Miles Turner when next year is a throwaway year. I'm not doing that. And they've never, and by the way, the Pacers have never gone into luxury tax.
Really? That's interesting.
Never, 20 years, never gone into luxury tax. So if your franchise has never gone into it, now we did with Paul George and Carmelo, which was a total disaster.
2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah, total disaster. But at the time, nobody had a problem with it. You didn't, I didn't. None of us had a problem. Let me say, what do we think about Dame being waived? Well, we're just getting ready to get into that, John.
Hey, let me go ahead. Can I make one more point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt. I love, and you're going to have a different perspective of this, but I love how LeBron comes out and says the most important thing for me is to win a championship, to compete for a championship, right? That's what he said. That's what he always says. To that I say BS.
You mean that wait a minute, he also, you're talking about when he said a long time ago, then he had just said on a podcast that championships shouldn't matter. Now he's coming out to saying I'm talking
about the answer out of every single player.
But that's not what LeBron said, Nathan.
Well, okay, let me backtrack then. I thought it was Chris. What's his name?
No,
James,
LeBron said he wanted to win championships because remember after he won the first one that he said that I'm now the greatest of all time. Then this summer with what's his name, the fake MVP, his second back-to-back MVP guy that should have went to Kobe, but because of that thing in Colorado didn't get it. He said that players shouldn't be based on them winning championships. Championships don't matter. Now he resigned, and his agent comes out and says that he wants to compete for a championship. But which one is it, LeBron?
Right. That's right. But here's the thing, Matt. Everybody says that, though. Like, every player says the most important thing to me is to compete for a championship.
100%. That's no lie, yes.
Well, to that, I say BS. That's crap. Because if you really wanted to compete for a championship, you would have turned down your option and said, hey, you know what, Lakers, give me $25 million. Go get somebody that can help you. You're full of crap. You made $1 billion in his career. So for him to say the biggest thing is to compete for a championship is full of crap because he hinders his team and their salary cap because he takes $52 million.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying, Kevin Durant's going to say the same thing next year.
Okay,
really,
I'm gonna push back.
If you want to compete for a championship, give me $20 million and go get me a shooter or a big guy or a guard that can. I don't want to hear it anymore because that's not true. I'm gonna
push back. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish up. Now finish up your rant.
If your biggest thing is competing for a championship, then act like it and don't just try to get a money grab. And again, these like J-Dub, Chet, I get it. They haven't made real money.
Your second contract, you get paid. Get paid on your second contract. 100%. Get paid.
Durant,
Get the max amount of dollars.
Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, those guys have made billions. So what in the heck?
Not billions, millions. Okay, I'm gonna say this.
LeBron made billions.
No. LeBron made $400 million since moving to LA because of his movies and opportunities. He didn't make that in salary.
But he still made it.
Yes, because of moving to LA, that allowed him to be a billionaire. If he did not move to LA, if he was still in Cleveland, that would not have happened.
How many contracts did he get before he moved to LA?
Doesn't matter. He did not make that much money. I'm telling you, Nathan. He made his money. He made $400 or $500 million since moving to LA because of TVs and production. So yes.
My bad. 400, 500 million.
Yes, that's $500-600 million. Yes.
That's not enough to live on?
No, Nathan. Okay. I'm gonna push back on what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. Okay, I agree with what you're saying for a certain extent. You look at Mahomes and Brady because this guy brought that up, talking about how. Okay, let me finish. Okay, they brought those guys up, talking about how they have taken less money. Well, Brady took less money because one, his wife was worth $250 million. Okay, number one. Hold on. Number one. Number two, he's making $15 or $20 million on the side off the field in endorsements.
Sure.
So he could afford to take less money salary-wise. Mahomes can afford to do the same thing because he's making $30 or $35 or $40 million on the side because why? He's winning. And in football, the more money you make at quarterback and the more wins you get in Super Bowls, that creates more money opportunity for you to make money off the field, which allows you to do that. In basketball, it's not the same. You don't have the same opportunities off the court that you do on the court. Now, that being said, what you're saying is partially true. But you look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant took 30 million or 40 million less dollars to go to New England or go to Golden State that he would have made to Oklahoma City in order to win.
Yes and no.
And hold on, no, he did. Then he took less money to go to New Jersey.
No, he took the 4-year max when he went to New Jersey.
But I'm saying but he would have made more money if he didn't stay to Golden State. Because the way the NBA contracts, you make more money staying at the team you're with.
You're right, but you still get paid for that. That's one of the things people don't ever talk about is, like, yes, you're turning down $80 million. Well, you're really not. You're turning down the last year that is $80 million. You're still going to make something that year?
No.
It's not going to be $80 million.
I agree, but what I'm saying is you're taking less, which is what you talked about. That's what you just said. You just said taking less money annually. Right. That's what he did. Okay?
Right.
And all I'm saying is LeBron to me is fake. He's full of crap. Okay? Right. He's full of crap. Now, 100%. What SGA did, he did the Thunder somewhat of a favor by taking 1 year less, going for 3 to 4 now. Like you and I both said, it is a little, what's the word we're looking for? Selfish, a little bit. A little bit.
Doing the city a favor, doing himself a favor.
Yes, 100 because he gets paid a year early compared to what he would be. So, yes. But what he did was he allowed the Thunder, by doing 3 to 4, he allowed the Thunder to be more flexible in the future.
That's right.
That's what he did. And he did the team a favor. But also for him, it also allows him, like people talking about superstars and want to be in Oklahoma City. What the hell is wrong with you? Why not? My taxes are cheap. The schools are good. The hell is wrong with you?
That's right.
What are you talking about? It's cheap to live here, and you're right in the middle, and you're right in the middle of the United States. You can jump on a plane and go. You're 30 minutes from Dallas. You're an hour from Houston. You're 45 minutes from Kansas City. You're an hour from Denver. You're 2 hours to LA. What the hell are you talking about? You're 2 hours to New York, hour and a half to New York. What? 2 hours of mine? What? I'm what? I'll get to save money and I'm right in the middle of the cheaper for me to go anywhere. What the hell's wrong with? What are you talking about? Now, is the nightclub scene great? No, not that I would know of anymore because I don't really do the club stuff anymore. I'm past all that. But no, it's not that. But it's okay, I guess.
Hey, let me go ahead and just throw this out. I looked this up just to kind of prove us wrong. LeBron's estimated between endorsements and basketball career earnings are over $1.5 billion.
Yes. What did you just say?
Endorsements, I know.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So I'm saying, if you can make he's making $85 million in endorsements annually. 48 from basketball, 85 from endorsements.
That's because he lives in L.A.
Well,
that's why. That's why.
I mean,
but no. He moved to L.A. for one specific reason. He knew his future to make money was going to be far greater in L.A. than it was anywhere else. That's why he went to L.A.
What's SGA's contract with the shoe company?
No. You'd have to look that up. Here, I'm gonna take our sponsors, and you go ahead and look that up real quick because I know you're at your computer. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up over there. They'd love to take care of you over at SRB. If you have needs for a water treatment plant in your city or your county, hey, those guys can make sure you have clean drinking water if you have one. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guy Jose Fierro up over there. They'd love to take care of you. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912.
The bank that makes things happen.
Yes, they are. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. It's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go to the main bank, which is where Nathan's at, 401 M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. Go up there and bug him. I'd love to irritate him. That'd be great. YNB East, don't go in to see the commander. Well, first of all, you can't get in there. But go in and bug him. Now, Trina and them, go in there and bug them. Yeah, you go in there. Trina and Sable, please go in and irritate them. Joe, definitely go irritate him.
Tell Sable you want a Caribbean blue YMB pin.
I'm not going to say that. You said that. Oh, my God. YMB Mustang, located 218 North Mustang Road. YMB Parkway, just off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right in front of the hospital. YMB People's located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Some good smelling stuff. In fact, I got a bottle for you, Nathan. As they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And if you will go into any of the locations, the Dillard's locations, the one at Penn Square Mall, the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall in Wichita, Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas, not Missouri, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, and Westgate Mall in Amarillo. Please go in there and see any of those people and tell them that we sent you, and they will hook you up with some samples, some good smelling stuff. But I got you taken care of, Nathan, so, don't worry about it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of you, even though you're a pain in my ass. I'm still trying to.
No, whatever, dude. I'm making it so interesting, man. It's fine.
Now, talk about John's, to answer his question about Dame. John, my thing is this. The Pacers would have to go into the thing they didn't. My thing with them getting it, they're trying to keep Giannis. And as Nathan said, Giannis is one of those guys. He's like SGA. They're good. They don't need. They're family. They're family guys. I've got a wife. I've got kids. My kids are happy where they live. My neighborhood's good. People don't bother me. The police are they probably drive by my house. And in fact, it's funny, Nathan. Two of my kids that I trained, they was like, Coach, after they won, Coach, we rode our bikes by SJ's house. I'm like, huh? You did what? What are you doing over? And they only live like 4 blocks away. It's not like it's, it's not a long way. Where SJ lives, Nathan, you and I both know where he lives, and the neighborhood is extremely safe. And for you all thinking, and by the way, people, if you think you're just going to drive through the neighborhood, I suggest if you're not from that neighborhood and they don't know your car, don't go through the neighborhood. Just they are.
Yeah, but what
they're nice,
what
but
what all those players have in common? You just mentioned though.
Well, they're all European. They're all non-American.
They're all foreign.
They're all foreign players and national players. And so what they did with that is they went out and trying to make Giannis happy. by getting him another guy. And somebody said he's not an upgrade to Brook Lopez. I said, you're out your damn mind. What the hell are you talking about? He's way more athletic. He can block shots, and he can now shooting threes. They're probably pretty close, but as far as athleticism, not even close.
Not even close.
Now,
Not even close.
the problem I have with
younger.
John, the problem I have with the Dame thing is you still got to pay $23 million. So you're paying now him, what,
I know.
48 million, 52 million or something stupid that's costing you just to have Miles Turner? Miles Turner ain't worth 50 million, bro. I like Miles, but he ain't worth 50 million, which is what you'd be costing you keeping him. Go ahead.
They stretched Dame too. So what that means to those people that don't know is they basically take the buyout money and they stretch it over a 5-year term that still goes against your cap.
Your top space, yes.
Yes. So for the next 5 years, you're going to be hampered by that, whatever it is.
I think it's 23 million, whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah. So
which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
But this is the thing. Dame, this is the secret sauce in that, Nathan, to me. Now you freed up Dame after next year. Because I don't think he'll sign this year because he doesn't need to. I mean, I already got my money, so I don't need to do anything. I'm just gonna rehab. That gives him the flexibility to go anywhere he wants cheap.
Sure.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
He can go anywhere.
The kicker on that one is, which the signing team doesn't care, but whatever he signs for comes off his cap hit for the Bucks, though.
But he's going to sign. He's going to take 5 million, 7 million. He's going to take something less because I can promise you he's pissed off at the Bucks because he found out just like we did. They didn't even call him. They didn't even call his agent. They just did it. He found out like we found out. So I'm sure for him, he's going to go, give me $1 million. I want them to they'll pay my salary. You know what I'm saying? They'll pay my salary. Don't worry about it. I can go wherever. He can go wherever he wants. Now, the question is, would you take Dame in Oklahoma City?
Well, he's going to be hurt all year, so no.
I'm talking about when he comes back, Nathan, clearly. Jesus.
No, I would. For cheap, yeah, for sure, why not?
No, just I'm saying, he could basically, because they're paying his salary, not you.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you just put him on the bench if he doesn't get along with everybody.
Well, he would get along. He's a laid back dude. He's a family dude. He fit in great with our culture.
I don't want him hampering the development of the other guys, though.
Right.
That's the thing.
But this is the thing. It would
Go
scare me. So here's my deal. That's our answer to that, John. Now here's where this is what scares me. This is what's happened. Here are the two teams that I look at, Nathan, and I'm gonna get your opinion.
And they've been really good.
These two teams are the Houston Rockets and the Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
KD, Dorian Finney-Smith, re-signed Steven Adams, and Clint Capella.
Yep.
So
yeah.
When I look at their roster, Nathan, I was like, oh my goodness. Here's the Rockets roster right now. They've got Fred VanVleet. Starting would be VanVleet, Amen Thompson, KD, Jabari, and Şengün.
Okay.
Then you come off the bench with Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, Dorian Finney-Smith, Eason, and Steven Adams.
That's a big backup. See, here's the thing. It's a good bench. Two concerns with Houston, which I am before I say this, I'm in 100% agreement with you. They scare me. One, is the chemistry going to be there? I don't know, because a bunch of those guys have a bunch of big attitudes. Two, what was my second one? Is the acquisition of Kevin Durant and Dorian Finney-Smith, is that going to hamper their development of the younger guys?
No.
Like Whitmore and Eason and those guys. I know Thompson's going to play a lot of minutes. That's guaranteed. But those other two guys, they were still kind of trying to find their footing in the NBA. So we'll see. I don't know, because Kevin Durant's going to play 35 minutes, dude, and Dorian Finney-Smith's probably going to play at least 20 to 25 minutes off the bench. So does that hurt those other guys?
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. Okay.
And this is why, because this is why it doesn't. Because Whitmore to me is a guy that he's athletic as hell, but he'll do some stupid shit. Okay,
yes, he will.
So that's what to me that's what the insurance is of getting Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith is more reliable than those others. That's my
Oh,
thing.
dude, he's a great dude. I'd love to have
Okay.
him on the Thunder.
Now here's my
Great.
thing. What they did with Steven Adams, him coming off the bench, we know what is Steven Adams. He is a offensive rebounding machine. That's what he
Yes,
is.
he is. Yes, he is. He showed us in the games we played against him.
John says the factor in both of those teams will be injury. Correct. I agree with you,
Yep.
John. Talking about these two teams we got on the score. I agree with you 100%, John. But just to break down Houston, then we'll get to Denver. Clint Capella is a blocking shots, which him and Şengün can work. So to me, if you have Clint Capella, you have Şengün, and you have Jabari, all in there together. Okay, when KD's on the bench, what that does is that makes you long. Defensively, you're going to be blocking shots like crazy. It's going to be hard to get shots in there.
Stretches the defense, though.
It does. And
they can't. Neither one of those guys can guard on the perimeter.
Well, no, Clint Capella can't. He can. He does okay.
Can he?
He does okay. He does okay. He's not bad. But the thing is his length, and when you get there, they can block shots, and that's the thing. You can block a shot even though somebody gets in front of you. You can block a shot if you don't know how to finish at the rim. You have to know how to finish at the rim because you can't get your shot blocked. Because I know a lot of times what I would do, Nathan, is if somebody beat me to the rim, I would jump before they jumped, so that I'm reaching my maximum when they actually release the ball. I'm trying to pin the ball up against the backboard because I've already jumped. So by the time they're sticking in between me, when they're laying the ball up in front of them, I'm already up at the peak of my jump when the ball gets to where it needs to be. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm jumping at an angle towards it. So that allows me to be able, that's what big men do. That's how they block your shot if you do not know how to finish correctly at the rim. So that's what it does to them. But it extends them now because Dorian Finney-Smith is the answer to Dylan Brooks.
Yes, Dylan Brooks.
He's a smarter Dylan Brooks. He's a smarter Dylan Brooks.
Oh, absolutely smarter.
You know, and that tells you Dylan Brooks, he's trying to, did a deal against his baby mama, afraid she's trying to kill him. What the hell did you do to her? She your baby mama, she trying to cut you and all kind. What'd you do? What'd you do to make her that crazy? What'd you do?
Acting like himself, probably.
You know what I'm saying? What'd you do? So anyway, John, to say about injuries, yeah, maybe I'm not. Steven Adams kind of injury deal, KD kind of. Clint Capella doesn't really have an industry history, not really, and neither does Dorian Finney-Smith. Now the Denver Nuggets, we wanted Cam Johnson, John.
Yeah.
We wanted Cam. They wanted too much. And what did Denver give them? Michael Porter Jr., a first-round draft pick?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Who would you trade off the Thunder to get him, though?
To get Cam? I would have gave them Wiggins. I'd have gave them Wiggins. I would have gave them K. Rich. I would have gave them Isaiah Joe and 3 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks at least.
I'd give them 2, but yeah.
Yeah.
But is that equal to what they got? I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is all that in one guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying is that he doesn't play defense. Wiggins does. K. Rich plays defense too. You get 2 guys that are perimeter players that can play defense. Number 1. And number 2, what can they do? They're cheap.
Here's the thing, though, Matt. I think what they're thinking is now, yes, I agree with you. They should have took the Thunder. But the Thunder, I don't even know if they would even look that route. But what they should have done, but here's maybe what they're looking at. Okay, yeah, you say K. Rich, Wiggins, and who was the other guy? What was the last one?
Isaiah Joe, if they wanted Joe. Sure.
Okay. So who could you get more for back in the trade package, though?
Yeah, but
Michael
it's
Porter Jr. or those 3 guys?
But like John said, the pick was from 2032, Nathan.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you had a chance to get a ton for Cam Johnson, and once again, it's the Nets, the Mets, Nets, Clippers, the Mets, Nets, Clippers, Mets, Nets, Jets, Clippers.
Yep.
3 of those are New York teams. The Mets, the Nets, the Jets, and the Clippers. But those teams, your managements are idiots. You think I'm not going to take 2 first-round picks I could have got this year, and that'd have gave me 7 for Cam Johnson and a couple guys that are 6'7" that can shoot and play defense?
Mm-hmm.
And now you got a guy who can't play defense, he can only shoot occasionally, and has been hurt, and you don't get a draft pick until 2032? That's what you got?
Yep. I saw that too, and I was like, man, That's not a very good package. We could have done that, but
Well, no, the package you're gonna get from us would have been better than that. But yet you wanted the rate, but you wanted Topic. I'm not giving you Topic. Like last year, Laurie Marketing. I'm not giving you Queso.
No,
I'm not giving you that.
not doing it.
I'm not giving you that. And the thing about the Thunder is this, Nathan. I said earlier, you've got SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Queso, Topic, Caruso, iHeart.
Dort.
No, yes, 2027, okay, and Dort till 2027. So for 2 more years, really, that's you're set for 20. Now the problem is that next year, you can't have somebody gotta go.
No, iHeart will probably be the first out the door.
Well, I heard it be gone 100% because hopefully our big guy Sober will be the guy.
Sober?
Yeah, he'll be he'll be developed at 6'10". Okay, then you got to figure out what you're gonna do with Dort.
Well, I mean, to me, you got to resign Dort.
You got to resign Dort. Him and Caruso and Kaysen, that because like I tell everybody, and we didn't have them on here. The Dallas Mavericks, you sleeping on them. You're sleeping on them.
They're gonna be good too.
You're sleeping on them.
Injured.
And then when it did last year, everybody goes, "Oh man, you crazy!" I go, "Dude, Dallas did exactly what we did. They went and got 3 front court guys, just like we have Kaysen, Caruso, and Dort. They did the exact same thing we did with their 3 front court guys. Then they went out and got AD to go with the other 2 guys because they need a 4, which is Chet. That's what they did.
Yeah. Well, the problem with them is though Kyrie,
is hurt to the middle of the year. To the middle of the year, he'll be back. He'll be back in the middle of the year.
Could
But Nathan,
break
I'm
a
talking.
nail
But I'm
and be out
talking.
for
What I'm
20
talking about is that's all. Yeah, forget all that nonsense. The bottom line is, you look at that team healthy. That's scary.
Oh yeah.
You can't count on. You can't count on saying, okay, well he's gonna get hurt. You can't count on that
Well, you can't count
because we
on
can say
not
this.
getting
We
hurt
can say
either.
the same thing about Chet.
Yeah, but what did we do without Chet?
Well, we won without everybody except SGA.
Yeah, is Dallas winning without Kyrie? No.
Yeah, no, but we were not winning without SGA.
SGA doesn't have a history of injury.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you're not going to win without your best player. I don't care who you are.
100%.
I don't care who you are.
You've got one best player who's basically missed half his career, and one who hasn't barely missed any.
Knock
games
on
at all.
wood, please.
Yes, no, I agree, 100%. I'm doing it right now.
I just knocked on my desk and you're ace.
One, and here's another thing.
Hey, Nathan, you're ace.
I'm not going to tell you what I'm.
No, I went.
No.
I knocked on wood. He thought it was somebody knocking. That's mean. That is so mean.
Here's the thing, Matt. This is something that really nobody ever talks about. Maybe a few people, but not everybody. Okay, so we talked about this. Are the Rockets and the Mavericks, are they going to be us, or are they going to be the Knicks? Because you talked about what we did, right? We went out and we got what we needed. Ancillary, not core pieces, right? Houston and Dallas have got core pieces.
Yeah.
Core pieces that haven't played together. So
Okay.
how does that look?
Okay, but I'm gonna say this. Okay, this is my player thing coming out and telling you. Okay, people talk about that shit don't really matter.
Okay,
Because well, listen, as a player, it's about, do you have the same, like Caruso and iHeart fit in perfectly because they have the same mentality. Now, it's going to take you a while to get into the groove, but they have the same mentality that we have. So it's about matching players with the same mentality that you have. If you match mismatch guys who have different agendas, which is what we had at first with KD, Harden, and Westbrook, then that doesn't work. That's all I'm saying. That stuff doesn't really matter if you have guys who all have the same. Like KD went there. Everybody understood immediately. KD is the best player.
Yes,
when he went to Golden State. So that's what I'm saying. That doesn't really matter so much if everybody's on the same page. Now, if they're not and they don't have the same mentality, yes, then what you're saying makes 100%. But that if they do, then what you're saying doesn't matter.
I think you're probably, honestly, with Houston, I think you're probably half and half because they got rid of 2 head cases, but and Clint Capella, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Durant, they're all business, but Durant's a big old diva, man.
Yeah, but KD. But I'm gonna say this: KD.
No,
see, this is my problem. This is my problem with that on KD. KD just wants to hoop, man. So all that other nonsense
here's the thing.
listen, Nathan, all that other side nonsense that y'all people are talking about, we as players dismiss all that nonsense. To me, us it's nonsense. He just
Okay,
wants
so
to hoop, bro.
Tell me what other place he's been where he's won other than Golden State and Oklahoma.
That's irrelevant. You're talking about fitting in.
No.
You're talking about fitting
No.
in. You said fit in.
Yeah, fitting. That's right.
Remember now, okay? New Jersey. If he wore 17 instead of 17 and a half, Milwaukee doesn't win the chip. That's a fact. That ain't no well. He hits that shot, the Milwaukee's done. That's the end of it.
That doesn't mean they win.
It's irrelevant. You said he was winning. I'm telling you, if he wore a 17 instead of 17 and a half, Milwaukee doesn't win the chip. They're done. They're out. They beat them.
Yeah, but look at Phoenix. I mean,
that's a classic case of the point you made of players not fitting together. That's a classic point of what you just said. But KD is not that dude. KD is a guy who just wants Nathan. KD is a guy who I can't explain it to you any more than this. I'm trying to lay it to you as simple as I can.
No, I know what you're saying.
He is just a hooper. So anything you say past that is irrelevant. He just wants to hoop.
But it seems like turmoil follows him.
But Nathan, he just wants to hoop.
Yes,
and every time it's been a problem, it was what we had with Westbrook. Then he went to Golden State, and guess who it was? Draymond, because Draymond was irrelevant. Then he goes to follows Kyrie to New Jersey.
Kyrie's a head case.
And Kyrie I still don't understand what he was doing. He should have went to Knicks. I still don't understand what the hell he was doing there.
Yeah, agreed.
And then you turn around and you go, and then the thing is this: with him and Devin Booker, they got along famously. They were great. It's when you had a Bradley Beal.
It's Bradley Beal. That's right.
That was the issue. Now you look at Houston. Now let's look at Houston. Houston is more like Golden State because you got a bunch of players. You got a coach who is strong, who says this is how the hell we're going to do it. Like Steve Kerr. This is how the hell we're going to do it.
Yeah, but they don't have Steph Curry or Klay Thompson.
But the point is, you got a head coach that says this is how we're going to do it. He didn't have that in Oklahoma City. You didn't have a coach that put Westbrook in his place. You didn't have that.
I agree.
You have that in New Jersey. You didn't have that in New Jersey.
Udoka is a good coach, but he's not Steve Kerr.
What I'm saying is, he's a coach that demands the respect, is going to be in charge, and is going to say, this is how the hell we're doing it. That's who he is.
I think you're probably right.
No, I am right, because I've seen it. You can just watch him. That's the way he was in Boston.
Well, let's wait and see.
And had he kept his thing in his pants and I did the crazy stuff that he did, he'd be still in Boston.
Yes, I agree.
But we all made mistakes, so that happens. I get that. The female thing is undefeated.
But here's the thing. Here's what I'll ask you then. So who's the leader on the court? Who's going to bring the most leadership? It's not going to be Kevin Durant.
Van Fleet. Without question.
Okay.
When they got Van Fleet 2 years ago, I go, that's the secret to them. Now they got a coach. They're going to be fine. I said that 2 years ago when he signed.
Yeah, you did. And I said they overpaid for him. So I could be wrong.
Now, you did say that, but I'm saying he's the guy to make it work. John says, every time you mention the Mavs, I get P.J. Washington flashbacks.
Oh, God, I know. Yeah.
Why you got to bring that up, John? But anyway, Nathan, all I'm saying is Kevin Durant, don't speak about him. Kevin Durant Kevin Durant and SGA want to do one thing. They just want to hoop, bro.
Well, hold on.
They just want to hoop.
No. They're not the same player.
No, I'm talking. They both just want to hoop, bro. And you don't understand what the hell I'm talking about. You just don't understand what I'm talking about. They both just want to hoop. End of discussion. Nathan, there's no more talking about anything else. When you just want to hoop, you just want to hoop.
There's way more discussion.
See, I can't talk.
Kevin Durant is not a leader at all.
That's not what I said. I don't know. I can't explain it to you. You just don't get what I'm saying. You just don't get it. You don't understand. Listen, what I said, there's the end of discussion. There's no more to talk about. When you get a guy who just wants to hoop, they just want to hoop. They're not a leader. They just want to hoop.
But SGA is a leader too.
I understand, but SGA, listen, what I said before, the difference between SGA and what we had before, he is a mixture of both of them. He's a mixture of KD and Russell.
Yeah.
He's like KD that he just wants to hoop. Then he's also like Russell, but not the jerk that Russell is and the insecure person that Russell is. He's both of them. But what I'm saying is where they're alike is they just want to hoop, man. I just want to be in the gym hooping and running my mouth and talking shit. That's what they are. They're hoopers. I just want to hoop, man. Let's go hoop. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's what he is. He's not a leader. He's not all that other. He just wants to hoop. Get me in the gym. Let's go play, man. Let's go have some fun. Let's go play. That's Kevin Durant in a nutshell.
Yes, agreed. But a team does not have a very good chance. Now, it's not undoable, but does not have a very good chance to win if you don't have that leader.
Which is Van Fleet, like I've said.
Okay, that's fine. We'll see.
Like I've said before, I said that about Houston last year, and you told me I was crazy when I told you to watch out for Houston beginning last year. Oh man, it's Houston, blah blah. You came up with all this nonsense about Houston, this and that, and Van Fleet. No. You talked all that trash about what I said about Houston last year.
And I said I was wrong.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying to you,
in the first round.
I'm saying to you, the thing is this: they didn't have a go-to guy. They have that now. They got rid of the knucklehead because Udoka couldn't control Dylan Brooks and the stupid stuff that he was doing. You could see his face when Dylan Brooks would do something stupid. You could see his face like, the hell, I get rid of this dude. You could just see it.
Yeah.
You could see it now. You could see the same thing in Steve Kerr's face with Draymond all the team. But what does Draymond do? He still wins games for him.
That's right.
And he cost them the greatest season in the history of the NBA. Draymond cost him that. He cost them 100%. They beat Chicago. I mean, they beat the Cavaliers, and Kevin Durant does not go there. The only reason why Kevin Durant went there is because Golden State, once Cleveland said, "Oh, we can beat them," they knew, okay, we got to have an answer. And who shut the door on them 2 years in a row? Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm. Would have been 3. But
had he not doing him and Klay Thompson, yeah. And that's the deal. When you and I talked about, I don't know if you were on the show, I don't know if that was you, but we were talking about when Hallie when he was his help. I said, man, don't play. That's your Achilles. Dame, same thing. That's your Achilles. Don't play. Yeah. Don't play. Kevin Durant, remember he didn't play. He got that guy down 3-1 against Toronto. He played. Bam. Yep. Bam. Yep. Yep. So I'm like, dude, I tore both of mine. I'm telling you, when it does that, that's Achilles. Ain't nothing but time and
Did you ever see the replay on Halliburton? Did you ever see that replay?
No, you told me about it. You told me about it.
Oh my God, dude, it was sickening. I mean, just because the dude's a good dude, man, and just to see it happen to him right there and right then, I'm a Thunder fan, obviously, but I mean that was horrible.
Well, I can tell you those people down there close to the court, they heard it.
I'm sure.
Because it sounds like a gun that goes pop. Because we were playing it when I did mine.
He was singing too.
He knew immediately.
At the same time, he was crying because didn't he holler "Not now, not now"?
He knew exactly what it was. Because it rolls up the back of your leg. It's like
rolls up the back of your
you're like, I don't know if you have the old school, if you're old enough to know about it. Remember the old school window shades where you pull them down? Those those ones that were yellow. You pull them down, they roll up. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like.
Yep.
That's what it feels like. So he knew immediately what it was. But we were talking about this yesterday, Nathan. Is there anybody that you know of other than Kobe does that and then just walks the free throw line, calmly makes your 2 free throws and walks off the court? Everybody else has to be carried off. He just walked off the court.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, it's an injury. Well, maybe it's not the Achilles because he's shooting free throws." No, it's the Achilles.
Yeah, he just walked there and walked right off. Only Kobe.
By the way, yes, there is one more person I know that could do that.
No, that did that.
That would do that. That would be Michael Jordan.
Yeah, they're built different. They're just built different. It's built different. But I'm gonna say this: the Thunder, we've got to make another move. But like you said, remember we have a mid-level interception that we can do that doesn't go against us. So, and I saw also where
is there anybody left, man? Is there anybody left that you want?
Well, remember we can trade. I don't know. Yeah, the only team's going to trade with us are in the East. Nobody in the West is trading with us. I can promise you that. Nobody in the West is trading with us.
No, I was watching my Twitter feed last night, and it was funny. I don't remember if it was it was one of the beat writers for the Thunder, and I can't remember if it was Andrew Slett or the Clemente guy, but one of them popped up and he said, "Do the GMs in the East know that they can improve their teams?" Because everybody in the West was getting everybody, and everybody in the East wasn't. I mean, the Hawks, yes, but I mean, it's just like, man, come on.
Yeah, the Hawks. I thought the Hawks did some good. I like what the Hawks did as well.
Yeah, same here. I do too.
I do too, because now, Trey is not – I like Trey, and he's not stuck out there by himself on
Let
9.
me ask you something. Who are you taking in a 7-game series in the second round of the playoffs? Denver or Houston?
Houston because of the coach.
Okay. See,
Coaching matters.
Yeah, forget about that.
Coaching matters at that point.
Did they name the interim guy head coach yet?
Yeah, he's the head coach, yeah. Alderman, yeah, he's the head coach.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that then. Who would you take if Mike Malone was coaching?
Malone. Malone.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, who would you take? Houston? Denver, yeah.
Because of Jokic.
Yeah.
Because what I was trying to tell somebody the other day, I said, this is the thing, guys. You got to remember, we should have only played Denver 5 games, and we should have only played Indianapolis 5 games. Our coach gave them game 1 both times, which caused us to go 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to remember that. You don't give them game 1, you beat Denver in 5. You don't give Indianapolis game 1, you beat them in 5. That's the reason why those games went game 7, because of coaching.
Yep.
I mean, like I told somebody, everybody goes, you don't give respect to the coach. I said, I give him the same respect I've always given him. Here's his issues. He cost us 2 games, straight up. Mm-hmm. And I said, I can promise you, if Halliburton hadn't got hurt, I still think we win, but I would have stressed out because I don't know if he'd have made the right decisions down the stretch. So that worries me, but I think we still would have beat him in Game 7 at home, yes. Because at some point, our defense was going to make a run. At some point, our defense was going to go on a 12-2, 16-5 run or whatever. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we were going to make a run on them in the third or fourth quarter. At some point.
Hey, let me ask you this. How do you feel about Jalen Williams after you know that he's been hurt for 40 games?
J-Dub?
We knew he was hurt. Yeah, we knew he was hurt.
Nothing. He ain't hurt that bad.
So I just saw this, which you might already know, but so the injury that Jalen Williams suffered and played 40 more games with was the same exact injury that Brandon Miller had, and he was out for half the season.
I understand that, but I'm just going to tell you this. If it was really hurt that bad, he couldn't shoot. It's his right hand.
Okay.
So, okay, you weren't hurt that bad. If you can still release and still average 20 points a game, you ain't hurt that bad, bro. Sorry. I done played before. And if your wrist is hurt and you can't release it, you can't release your shot because your wrist is hurt, you ain't shooting 70% from the free throw line and 40 whatever percent from the field. Not happening. And I do believe he still had a couple of nasty dunks.
He did.
So it wasn't hurt to where he couldn't function. So I'm not listening to that nonsense. That's a bunch of nonsense.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, to me, Kobe playing with a broken right-hand finger and his middle finger that you have to actually pose and shoot with is a hell of a lot harder than that. Because every time you touch the ball, every time you dribble, every time you shoot, has your finger, that middle finger. That hurts. So, to me, that was much harder. Remember, he averaged 30 with a broken finger. That's crazy.
I do remember that.
That's just insane to me.
I think you were addressing something else when I got on, and we never really kind of finished, but what next year's team in minutes is going to look like?
Next year's team, to me, you know what you've got in your 8. It's what you're going to do with, to me, it's Wiggins, K-Rich, A.J. Mitchell.
Topich.
Well, no, Topich is already in there at 8. It's SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Topic, Dort, Caruso, iHeart, and who was my other one? And let me see. Starters: SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Dort, iHeart, Caruso, Kaysen, Topic is your 8.
Here's I don't think we will do this, but here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Chet play with A.J. Mitchell and Topic a little bit, because the ability, because you remember when we ran that 3-guard lineup back in the day when we had SGA, Schroeder, and Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
I think it was, and I think if you, because to me next year what the development needs to be is getting better when the non-SGA, non-J-Dub minutes.
Okay, well, you can't. Okay, Nathan, first of all, I don't want both of them off the floor. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not sure if I ever want that. I don't care. Topic would have to be amazing for me not to have one of them on the floor. Just
well,
saying.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe he is. We don't know. I'd like to see that. That's what I'm saying. Like, get like a Tuesday night in January when you're playing Charlotte or somebody. Like throw because to me Chet plays best when there's a true shot creator on earth. A true shot creator / passer, which SGA is.
He plays better. Like J-Dub and iHeart play better together, and SGA and Chet play better together.
Think back to Josh, right? Like Josh plays better with Chet than he did with J-Dub.
Yes, 100%.
Because he has the abilities to do lobs.
Well, that's Topic.
Right, but AJ Mitchell can do some of that too.
Right. Like you and I talked about, AJ Mitchell getting hurt. This is my problem with what Dagnall did. When AJ Mitchell came back, you and I had talked about this on the show. I wanted AJ Mitchell, as soon as he got back, to get some games in right there at the end of the season to get back in the groove. Because the lineup that was going to cost us, and I had been saying it, is when you had J-Dub, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and iHeart or Chet. You had no ball handler. You had nobody running the offense.
Right.
And that killed us against Indianapolis. They figured that out. They just would press us full court. You had no ball handler. But and then you tried to play AJ a little bit, but it was too late. You played him when he got back. Play him and get him in that groove, and that was a problem with the Thunder coaching staff. How the hell you not see that happening? Get him back in there because you don't have a ball handler. J-Dub, no matter what you think about him being great, why is he not a ball handler? No. He's just not. He's not. He doesn't have the ball handling skills. Now, I will give you this, and I'm gonna give him this caveat. Maybe that's why he was losing the ball a lot, dribbling out of his right hand. Maybe that was it because his wrist.
Yes. So, I mean, what I would like to see is some more development there. Like, put AJ, because I think the odd man out this year, I think,
is AJ Mitchell.
No, I think the odd man outside is AJ. Like,
he's been the odd man out for me for a while.
You gotta give. I think, and he did play quite a few minutes during the season, though. So, but I think during the season, you gotta give AJ Mitchell those minutes because AJ Mitchell can handle the ball, he can pass, but he can also shoot.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's the shooter that Isaiah is. Hold on.
We'll see. He shot 41%, so we'll see. He shot 41% from three, so we'll see. But, eventually, hopefully, you think those guys can create their own shot, too. Now, he's a long way away from that, don't get me wrong, but he has the potential to be that. None of the other guys on our roster have the potential to be that.
Okay.
We got 1.5 guys that can create their own shot, and we need 2 or 3.
Okay, AJ Mitchell shot 42. He averaged 5 points a game, 46% from the field, 50 from 3.
So he shot a good percentage from 3. So if you got Topic or Topic, however you say that.
Topic.
If you got Nikola, we'll say Nikola. If you got Nikola on the floor with AJ Mitchell, it doesn't hurt you if you don't have another shooter after this because AJ Mitchell is the shooter.
Yeah, he bounced up and ended up shooting 6. He averaged 6 points at the end, 49% from the field, 38 from 3, 82% from the line. So he was 49, 38, and 82.
And he can handle the ball and he can create his own shot.
Yes. He's a poor man's SGA is what I called him.
Yes, that's exactly right. So if you got 3 of those guys, when I include Nikola in that, and J-Dub does that maybe half, but you're better suited for success if you have more. Because we have tons of talent, but to get into a good offense, you got to have a guy to create that offense.
You got to have a guy. Yes, agreed.
The only guy that we had was SGA.
100%. And that was my problem with Dagnall with J-Dub. It's like J-Dub is not the ball. What are you talking about? He can't handle the ball. If you put J-Dub in a position of SGA, which is what Dagnall was trying to do, he's not that guy. He's never going to be a number 1. He's a number 2. And everybody talks about, well, look what he did. All NBA, third team, I'm going to give him because you got to. I'm sorry, all defensive team, he made that because Caruso didn't qualify. That's a fact. There's no way in hell anybody's going to tell me J-Dub is a better defensive player than Caruso. You're not.
Did James McDaniels make the all-defensive team?
I think he did. I have to go back and look. But what I'm saying is J-Dub is not better than Caruso. Caruso didn't make it because he didn't qualify 65 games. There's no way in hell you're going to give J-Dub over Caruso. Are you?
No.
I'm not doing that. Under any circumstance, you're crazy. So to me, that defensive thing went by the side.
Yeah.
Now, are you putting three players on our defensive team? No, but I'm putting Dort, and I'm putting, because to me, our defensive team goes simple. It's Dort, Caruso, J-Dub, Queso, then SGA.
You think J-Dub's better than Payton?
I think that you can flip flop those, and I'm okay with that too as well.
I would say it's an embarrassment of riches at that point.
Yeah, I'm okay if you say Dort, Caruso, and Kaysen, then J-Dub. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
I ain't mad. And by the way, my friend is a coach, Nathan. He had to rub something in my face. Guess what he ended up getting? SGA's Game 5 jersey.
Oh, no.
When he went from 30, 12, what was it 30, 14, 12, what, 5 blocks, 4 blocks, or whatever, some stupid number that he had that was ridiculous. His Game 5 number was ridiculous.
Did he get it signed, did he?
I think SJ signed, or he will. Yeah, he gave it to him. He goes here, he gave it to him. His Game 5 jersey.
So, hey, I was going to tell you, that leads me into a little story. So, you know that official championship ball they've been blasting all over TV and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Big Bass or whatever it's called. So, Big Time Bass is what the company's called.
Well, you got it, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
And I got it, and then, like, 4 or 5 days later, I get a call from some number. Oh, yeah, you got the ball. Yeah. Well, then they got to send me a text that goes, we have limited release of that ball signed by SGA, 102 of them. And I was like,
And you got one.
I was like, nah, I don't need that. I called him and I said, hey, just out of curiosity, how much are this thing? He's like, they're $900. I was like, oh, I don't need that. I hung up with him.
Called him right back.
I waited about 10 minutes. Like, yeah, well, you better get one of those.
Yeah, you better get one of those. Yeah, you better get one of those.
I did. They're numbered out of 102. So.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, you get one of those, bro. 100%, you get one of those. 100%.
Here's the thing too, like they give you a free case. I'm like, you gotta give me a free case for that.
Then, what? I'm sorry. That's $50.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Nah, it's okay. I'll find my own case. It's not
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, come on, Nathan. Yeah. I was like, when you told me that, I'm like, yeah, you got that. Come on, man. That's kind of like me when I bought my Terran roses. There was only 10 of them. Okay, there was only 10 of those.
What were they?
Terran, they're shoes. They're Terran roses, and I got them at Neiman's. And this is back in the day. This is 2008. And that's when I was shopping at Neiman's all the time. And anyway, so I'll go in there because I have my personal shopper guy. And so I go in there, and he shows me these shoes, Nathan. And they're velvet and patent leather. And so, but they only made 10 of them. 5 in LA at Rodeo Drive, and 5 at the Galleria in Houston. That's it.
Wow.
And they only had 1 pair of 13s left. That's all they had. And he showed them to me, and I put them on. I said, man, I can't pay that much money for shoes, man. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not paying that. I walked downstairs, walked to the door, and I'm like, you idiot. What the hell's wrong with you? That's 1 or 10. You got to lie down. They only have 1. What the heck? Take your ass back up there. I go back up there.
Yeah.
He pulls out my credit card receipt. He goes, here. I was like, what's that? He goes, oh, I already charged your card, bro. Here, just go ahead and sign. He goes, you weren't walking away from these. You ain't stupid. Here you go. I was done laughing. I signed him and walked up. Yeah, paid $600 for him in 2008.
So
Yeah.
about $1,000 a day.
Oh, they're way more than that because there's only 10 pairs. Yeah, they're way more than that now. Yeah, there's only 10 pairs of those, period, in the world. So yeah, I just got. But that's the same thing with you with that. Yeah, you're gonna go pay, man.
Yeah, no, for
You're
sure.
gonna. You're
I just got
going back to
I just
paying.
got the NBA Finals ball from 2012 signed by Katie and Rupp.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to keep that, man. There's no question. John says, what do we think about Peyton Sandfort?
Who?
Peyton Sandfort.
Oh, the 10-day guy we got?
Yeah.
Don't expect. I mean, G League All-Star, what, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, don't. Here's the thing, and I get. Before I started talking to you, I was a victim of it too. I see these 10-day guys, and I see these 2-way guys, and I get all excited, and I'm like, for maybe 4 years ago, they're breaking our rotation. Our rotation is what it is, man. Nobody's breaking that rotation this year. So don't get too excited
No,
about
no.
Hardenheiser.
I showed you our 8 is that. Plus, remember, 9 is Isaiah Joe, 10 is Wiggins, 11 is K. Rich,
I mean,
12 is J, and 12 is J. Will, and 12 is J. Will.
Yeah.
And not to mention,
this year
Sorber.
is that Sorber gets the minutes. That's about the best thing you need to hope for, because that means we're winning, and he needs some development.
Yeah.
So, but he's going to be in the G League a lot.
Yeah. So but I'm saying that's those 8 plus Isaiah Joe plus K. Rich plus Wiggins plus Sober plus J. Will. That's 12.
We got some dudes, man.
That's 12. You're deep.
But you know you're going to play 11 people. So
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is that you still got to add something to that. We can't go with what we got. We got to add something. So, but anyway, all right, bro. I'm out here. I got to go set up the gym for that. We have our league games tonight, so I got to go and work. I know that upsets you.
yeah, well,
Don't say nothing. Don't say it, Nathan. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I can sit here and talk thunder all night long.
Well, I mean, I've got to work till 10 tonight, or we would talk about this, but hopefully tomorrow there'll be some more news and we can do it, because tomorrow night I'll be done, so I've got to work
I
till
think they're
tonight.
just waiting. I mean, I think they're just waiting to do something. They're going to sign him. Don't worry about that. I mean, they're going to sign him. It's just a matter of when.
I agree.
Didn't you like when Russ? No, you didn't, because you don't like Russ. When Russ signed the Supermax on Katie's birthday, remember that?
Yeah, that's him, man. He's petty, man.
That's him. That's right.
He's so petty, bro. He's so.
Dude, you know how many texts I saw last night from people going, "Bring Russell back on a minimum." Bring Russell. Like, you guys obviously
listen,
don't know basketball at all.
People have the love affair people have with him is ridiculous.
And it's crazy.
It's like this. The new ownership in LA. What I love about them, that they own the Dodgers. So they're like, LeBron, whatever you're talking, we don't give a shit what you're talking. You have no say in what we're doing. We don't give a shit. That's why LeBron took the money. He has no say whatsoever. He's like, there's like being with the Lakers and Pat Riley. Pat Riley didn't give him no say. Jenny Buss and them let him run the team. That's why they don't have any draft picks. That's why all this stuff, because of him. If these guys would have been the owners of the Lakers, he probably wouldn't have came there, number one. And number two, he definitely ain't going to tell them what to do, because I think they pretty much know how to run a franchise, and they've won, 3 world championships owning the Dodgers. They know how to run their own.
Not to mention the fact that they had a pretty good team cooking before we got there. You know, I mean, they were a couple years away, but think about who was on that team now.
Well, the year that they won it in 2020, the following year, in 2020, 2021, he broke the team up after that because he wanted Russell and Carmelo.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about even before that, though. Like,
yeah, what I'm saying is he was the difference in what they needed, him and AD.
Because let me just if you got 2 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me get on here right quick. I got the side where I can tell you, they did a pretty good job. Now, outside of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, yes, I agree with you, but they didn't do a bad job of drafting.
No.
See, they had, and that was what, 2018 when they got 19 when he got there. Is that right?
Yes, because it was the year before. The year before he got there, the Lakers. The year he got there, they got beat in the the bubble. They got beat in the playoff, in the play-in, and they got beat in the play-in. Then they won the chip because of the COVID. Then the next year was the year that they were ranked 4th, and he got hurt, and AD got hurt, and that was the end of that to go back to back.
So the 6 years leading up to LeBron getting there, just listen to these draft picks. Now, again, they're not all-stars, but they're pretty good players. Okay, in 2014, they drafted Julius Randle and Jordan Clarkson. 2015, they got D'Angelo Russell and Larry Nance Jr.
Was not happy with any of those.
Well, they're not bad players.
I wasn't happy with any of those.
Okay, Brandon Ingram and Zubac.
Nope, not happy with any of those.
17, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart. And that's about it. THC,
I like Kuzma. I like Hart. Those were the only ones I liked. And Brandon Ingram, I was mad because
Julius Randle's a good player, man.
No, but I didn't want. I mean, Julius Randle. I'm like, he doesn't do anything for us. What are you doing? Remember at that point, I was a huge Laker fan, and I will go back to being a Laker fan once LeBron's gone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they didn't draft bad, is what I'm
No,
saying.
but it was just to me what they were drafting. I'm like, why are you drafting him? What? I was pissed
Because
I was
Now, those
pissed.
guys-
D'Angelo Russell,
Okay,
whatever.
well, how would you feel about this then? You say all those guys, and you take away D'Angelo Russell and Lonzo Ball. I'm sorry, Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, and you add Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's a championship team, right
That's
there.
what you should have did, but you didn't.
I agree.
Because you were listening to
But
Ball's daddy.
They didn't have a bunch of busts, is what I'm saying.
Right. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not calling any of them busts. What I'm saying is, I didn't want any of them. We'll go back and ask Drew. We didn't want any of them. Any of them. Randall, what the hell are you doing? D'Angelo, what the hell are you doing? Ball, women over Jason Tatum? Are you out of your damn mind?
Well, I don't. Jason Tatum.
Brandon Ingram over Brown? Are you out of your mind? What are you doing?
I mean, at least they didn't take Markelle Fultz.
Shocking they didn't do that. Probably would have.
But my whole point is the players they drafted may not be the guys you wanted, but they didn't turn out to be bad NBA players.
No, but that's who the Thunder were drafting too before they got Josh. They went on Josh Giddey,
right.
J-Dub, Chet, and Kaysen. Look at what they drafted before that.
Oh yeah, they were drafted.
So I mean, what I'm saying is they were drafted okay. Okay. This time around, like I said, Nathan, this time around, Sam Presti learned his lesson.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Those guys that I just mentioned that the Lakers drafted, in that same time period, I bet you the Thunder didn't even draft one guy that was as good as any of those guys. So
since 20 what?
Right.
What was it, 20 what?
2014.
I think that's when we drafted Steven Adams.
No, it was 2012 is when we got Steven
Okay,
Adams.
so then, yeah, you're right. Perry Jones, oh, God. Yes.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson.
Oh,
and,
I like Reggie, but yeah, he's still
I
not
like
with any
Reggie,
of them.
but he was an idiot.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
So in that time period, they had a way better draft choices than we did.
Well, but I think that at that point,
Well, I say that except for we did trade for Sabonis, I guess.
yes,
15
yes,
or 16.
that was for
whatever
Paul
that was.
George though.
Yeah. So
Well, actually, no, we traded for him and then traded him to Paul
Orlando.
George. Yes,
yeah, we traded Orlando. That was a heck of a trade, dude.
I
They got
like
fleeced on that deal.
I like
We got Sabonis or Oladipo and Muscala and a pick for Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, I was happy.
I mean,
I was not unhappy. I was not unhappy.
well, and at that point, Kevin Durant hadn't decided he was going. Well, I think we all knew.
We knew he was gone. Remember, that's when Russell and Sabonis couldn't get along.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what, man. If KD was on that team, though, man, that would have been a good team. Oof.
Yeah, but Russell, man, he's just I just don't understand it. And the whole thing is, this is what's funny about him. Every team likes him because people like him because of the way he plays, and nobody has an issue with that. I don't, for sure.
Well, here's
It's
the issue I have.
it's just who he is outside of that is the problem, and he's so fake. It's like look at him come back to Oklahoma City. I say he come back to Oklahoma City for one reason: he wants a statue. That's why he's coming back here to do all this stuff. He wants a statue. And they'll probably give him one for some idiotic reason. The only person who deserves a statue is SGA because he brought us a chip.
Yeah. Well, I heard this argument the other night, and I think it's just asinine. But there were guys on the radio arguing that you shouldn't retire Kevin Durant's number. And, man,
People are mad at him because they don't get it,
if you retire Nick Collison's number, but you don't retire Kevin Durant,
which I didn't understand why you retired Nick Collins' number. I'm like, what are you retiring him for?
Yeah, I mean, he
Retiring him for?
would have-
I like Nick,
Mr.
but you ain't. So? You don't
not
deserve,
doing
listen, to me, when you retire a number, you go look at the Lakers, you go look at the Celtics, you go look at anybody else. They don't have some journeyman player as a retired jersey.
All of famers, all of them.
What are you doing?
All of famers.
I mean, when Sun Thunder did that, and I like Nick. I felt sorry for the boy, the guy, because we were at Stella one night, and he and his ex-wife were there, and she was, oh man, I was so uncomfortable the way she treated him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible. I felt bad for him, so I like him as a person, but I'm like, you don't deserve to have you don't deserve. And then how much are the Thunder paying him now? $5 million or whatever, something outrageous.
Something like that. Yeah.
And I get it. It's
you know-
Oklahoma City. I get it. But the only people who have their number should have their number retired as a Thunder is SGA, KD, and Russell at this point.
Yeah, agreed.
Those three only. And maybe J-Dub, maybe, and Chet, maybe. But right now, no. But those three for sure. But am I putting the only person the only person that deserves a statue it would be KD, but then to me, it's SGA only. Because, like you said, he is the one that brought us the chip. And then to me, that solves your Russell problem, and that solves your KD problem. By not giving them a statue, that solves that issue. Especially if SGA will stay here 11 years and he wins one more. Yeah, he deserves it. Because you look at the Lakers, you gonna build a statue of who? All of them want a chip, and it's like the new management. You think LeBron's getting a statue in front of the Lakers? He ain't getting no statue. Not with this new group. Now with Jenny Buss and them, probably, but with this new group, they ain't putting no statue up in front of him. No. You're not. You look at whose statues are there. Magic. They didn't play for nobody else but the Lakers, except Kareem played 2 years for Milwaukee when he was Lou Alcindor. But basically, it's been them. You were a Laker. He ain't a Laker.
Magic, Kobe, Kareem, Jerry West,
Elgin Baylor. That's it.
There's more. Isn't there?
No, that's it. Shaq. I think Shaq's there too.
Shaq. What about? Oh God, he played for Boston. Didn't he? James Worthy. He played for Boston.
Yeah, James played with us. He played with the Lakers. He's the best player I've ever played with, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's
the best player I ever played with, by far. He was unbelievable,
bro.
Player. Oh, great player. He was. I can't tell you how good he was. I can't tell you how good he was.
How cool is it for us to be able to say, yeah, SGA was the one that brought us the chip? How cool was that to say?
But Nathan, it's so funny is I argued with you about that. It's like, no, Kevin Durant. And I was like, no, he's right. He is the greatest Thunder player. Mm-hmm. Not the best player, but the greatest, but the best Thunder player. But the best Thunder player. And he may be where KD, I mean, if he continues what he's on, the line that he's on, I mean.
Hey, you know what? That's true, though. I would love that, because that would mean what?
We'd have more chips.
That would be number 4 for me. What that would be.
No, I already agreed with that one. I already agree with that.
Rough.
No, I agree with that already. That's your third. That was your third thing, agreeing with that.
No. It was.
That was your second. Your third was SGA signing early. Your second was him being that over KD.
Thought, no, well, here's no. This is a different conversation. This conversation was, you thought no matter what, there's no way that SGA turns out to be a better player than Kevin Durant,
right.
No matter what.
No, he's still not top 10. No,
and I left it open for.
That's still not. He's still not better than Kevin Durant. No, he's not top 10. No,
not right now.
He's still not going to be. Kevin Durant is in my top 10. SJ will not be.
SGA's got 12 years left to play.
He's not going to be better than KD, bro.
Okay.
Sorry. I love SGA. I love SGA, man. But yeah.
Dude, he could go on a tear and win 5 more MVPs and 3 more titles. Then you're going to say he's not as good as Kevin?
Now, if he wins a couple more MVPs, and he does what Michael Jordan did as far as 5 straight 30-point, 50% shootings. If he wins or does one, because that's what did Michael Jordan do it 4 times with MVP, scoring champion, finals MVP, wins the championship. He did that 4 times?
4 times. Yep.
Now, if he does that 3 times, then okay. I can, but I still don't know if I'm going to move him in the top 10. I don't know if I'm going to move him ahead of Tim Duncan. I don't know if I'm moving ahead of, that would be hard for me to move him in the top 10.
But what I hear you saying is, there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I give you that chance or anything. But yeah, it's slim to none. KD is going to be in my, Nathan, KD is going to be in my top 10 of all time. All time.
I'd say he's
all time
for me, but yes, I agree with you. He's a good player.
So for him to make it in my top 10 of all time, all the players I've seen, that's a huge compliment to him.
Yes, it is.
And SJ is just not. I don't know who I'm gonna take out for him.
Well, that's because his career hasn't ended yet.
That's correct. He's in year 6, 7.
He's going into his 7th year.
Yeah.
He's probably got at least 10 to 12 good years left.
Yeah. And KD is still the most efficient big man shooter I've ever seen. I mean,
big man shooter,
scorer. 100%. He's the most efficient 100%. Scorer of the basketball on all 3 levels that I've ever seen. He is. He just is.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. How can you say that? Because he's never gone He's never gone 30, 50, and
I understand that. But what I'm saying is just efficiency. He is the most efficient scorer of all three levels that I've ever seen. He's 50, 40, 90 all the time. He scores 27 points on 18 shots, 17 shots. It's crazy.
SGA does it a lot too.
SGA is on 23, 24 shots, bro. It's a total different thing. He averaged 22 to 23 shots and scores 30. He's averaging 4 less shots and 3 less points, not shooting as many free throws. Kevin Durant is the most efficient scorer on all three levels I've ever seen. Period.
On all three levels, I'll give you that.
Mid-range at the basket. He's the best I've ever seen. He's the
SGA
best.
does not have a 3-point shot.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's going to, like I said last year, when he develops a 3-point shot, it's going to be ugly for everybody. And he's slowly starting to get there. And if he can make
ugly for everybody.
yeah, and if he can make 3 to 4 threes a year, if next year he can average 3 to 4 threes, makes a year next year, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. It really, truly is. It's going to be ugly for the league. So, all right, bro, let me get out of here. I got to go put the gym together. You can tell you can see how excited I am about it. We have games tonight.
Sounds good, man. It makes you feel any better. I'm going to be off work in like an hour and 15 minutes.
I get off at let me see. The last game's at 8:30, so I'll be time I finish cleaning the gym. I'll be out of there at 9:30, 9:45.
I'll be in bed already, man.
I'll be done at 9:45 tonight. Yeah.
I'll be in bed just relaxing.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's my guy Nathan Taylor of YNB. Appreciate you. It's good finally having you on, man. Sorry I missed you yesterday, but I had to get to the gym. And today, one of my kids, his mom texted me and said, "You don't have to worry about it. He can't make it today." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "He can't make it today because he's taking personal time." One of the kids that rode his bike by SJ's house.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's cracking me up because they both. I said, "Did y'all?" They go, "No, Coach, he wasn't outside, but his garage door was open." I go, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, both his cars." I go, "He's got some nice cars." And they go, "Yeah, he's got some real nice cars." I said, "Yeah, he really does." And
that ugly old Cyber truck.
Well, that's his wife. She drives that. And so I was like, I said, "Oh, you see the wife?" They go, "No, her and Aries, they were at the park." I started laughing. I was like, "Oh, okay." Which, as we know, where they live, the security is really, especially now. I'm sure the cop cars were driving by there every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? When he was at the park,
sure.
I'm sure they were driving by every 5 minutes to make sure he was okay and she was okay and that nobody was bothering. You know what I'm saying? I bet they were driving by there every 5 minutes by the park to make sure that they weren't being bothered.
Absolutely.
You know, which I thought was kind of funny. I said, "You go out there?" They go, "Oh, no. We didn't go by there. We were just riding our bikes." I said, "Boy, y'all get y'all's ass home. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? And go home." But when you live, 5 blocks away from the MVP, I mean, you're 11?
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and you're 11 years, and Nathan, you're 11. You're 11 years old. Yeah. You're gonna drive. Yeah. You're gonna ride your bike by there. You and your buddy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you just saw their eyes. Coach, their eyes, Nathan. "Oh God, Coach, his garage door is open. We were just hoping he's gonna walk to the." I said, "Man, SJ ain't out. He's inside playing video games. I mean, he ain't gonna be. He ain't outside, man." SJ is not coming outside, which I thought was funny. All right, brother, I'm out here. I gotta go to work. Appreciate that. For all you guys, thank you. Remember, like and subscribe, hit the notifications for the show, and we appreciate you guys. And Nathan, appreciate you, bro. And like we said, we'll keep hopefully tomorrow we have some more news about the Thunder.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, peace out.
Good. All right,
and remember, peace out, everybody. Have a great day. Peace out. Thunder up.